Hello everybody, this is Ryan Beesmer here with the Rawls Group again. Appreciate you joining me today. Today's topic is hiring for key roles. Really deciding when to promote from within or whether to seek an external candidate. We're going to talk a little bit about the key questions that you need to answer when deciding whether you should go with the internal or external hire. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the pros and cons and what is best for your organization. Be sure to check out my previous video on interviewing for entry-level roles. Today I'm going to be talking more specifically about key roles and management and above, leadership positions really. Undoubtedly, there are specific skills that lend themselves to leadership positions more than others. Of course, a strong work ethic is important, but so too is adaptability and resilience when leading and managing others. Managers have to be able to attune themselves both to the employees that are reporting to them and the business that they're responsible for at the same time. It requires a lot of empathy and business savvy. If you are a business leader and you're already thinking about how rare it is to find all of these qualities in a single person, it's not impossible. There are many people who fit this description, but there are most certainly many who do not, that are placed in important positions of trust within organizations that end up creating far more headaches than they're worth. So when you're looking to fill a position, how do you go about that process? Do you spend the money on recruitment? You're going to the market and you're going to find a candidate within your labor pool with the experience to do the job on day one? That is absolutely one route, and it's likely to be the costlier of the two. If you promote internally, generally speaking, you're going to save some money over an outside hire. But if they're moving into a management position for the first time or achieving a higher level of leadership, that is likely to come with some growing pains as they stretch into the new role. The first question that needs to be answered when considering which route to go for your organization is, what level of leadership are we talking about here? Is this a low-level management position that is directly supervising day-to-day employees? Is it a departmental manager that is responsible for a specific business unit and is managing other managers? Or is this a general manager responsible for the overall business who needs to think and act like an entrepreneur themselves? Each of these levels in your organizational hierarchy will require different skill sets and aptitudes to be successful. Each will come with various challenges and pitfalls that can disrupt operations and ultimately affect performance of your business. Next, you have to consider the team that you have in place currently. What does the management team of the department currently look like? Is it made up of industry experts with an excess collective experience who have the aptitude and bandwidth to mentor and develop their peers as they grow into their roles? Or have you expanded recently and find yourself looking at a management team that consists of rookies or young leaders who are just starting to get their feet underneath them? This is important. Understanding the team that you have currently should be a critical consideration in deciding how to approach filling a key role. The younger and less experienced a management team is currently, the more I would lean towards looking for an outside hire, someone with the experience and capability to come in and contribute on day one and isn't going to need a lot of growth and development themselves to be a factor in your success, even if it means spending a little bit more time and money searching for and finding the right person. Beyond just the age and experience levels of your current team, consider leveraging industrial science in helping determine what's best for your organization. Here at the Rawls Group, we use a program called PDP Pro Scan that can provide us with profiles of the people that we currently have in the organization and help us develop a job profile for whom we need to bring in to complement that team. This is an incredible tool, not only for finding the best match for your organization, but for helping make sure that they coalesce around each other in the future and develop into the highest performing team that they possibly can be. The last question to consider is whether you actually have someone in the organization capable of stepping up and filling the role in the first place. Oftentimes we find that business owners aren't considering the succession of their management team until it becomes a need. However, it is the easiest of the considerations to be aware of in real time. It's simply having conversations with the team that you have around you currently and understanding what are some of their career aspirations and goals. Are they someone who has the aptitude for future advancement and growth? Do they have an interest in that? If they're perfectly happy in their current role and they're a good performer, there's not necessarily an impetus to promote them into a management position. But there are many people who aspire for greater and greater levels of responsibility. And if they have the aptitude and you have the organizational ability to mentor and grow and develop them, then they should be given an opportunity. Oftentimes, this means paying less than what you would pay for an outside candidate in that same role. All of these considerations help answer the question, do I promote internally or do I hire externally? As I mentioned, if you hire someone from the outside, you have the best chance of finding someone who fits the role on day one, with the experience and expertise to come in and contribute in a meaningful way quickly. Comes at a cost. Time and money are two of the most important resources that a business owner has, and they must be spent wisely. If you have a high-performing team with many experienced leaders and potential candidates who are chomping at the bit to grow their careers into leadership, that's when you'd lean more towards promoting. If your team is already fresh-faced to begin with and struggles with performance or taking on additional responsibilities outside of their core role, I think you can understand intuitively what is going to be the best decision for your organization there. It's likely that you'd benefit more from an outside hire. Of course, there are considerations beyond what I described in this video. The business performance, whether it supports recruiting and hiring in the current labor market, or whether the talent pool can even support bringing in somebody. The truth is that while the very best organizations do an excellent job at retaining and developing their top talent, they are also not afraid to go out and recruit someone when the need arises. And then they will excel at integrating them into their culture and workforce. Organizations struggle when they start looking for leadership positions when it becomes a need. Instead, you should be constantly developing your people at every level of the organization. If you create a culture of development, you will naturally see people rise to the occasion when there are opportunities to advance. And if you truly don't have someone who can fit the role, you bring in an outside hire into the fold with minimal disruption. You must be able to do both. But in order to understand what you should do in a given situation, you must know your organization and know your team. If you're struggling with developing the culture in your organization to support your goals, or you're experiencing high levels of turnover due to a change in ownership, the Rawls Group can help. We are experts in evaluating organizations and preparing them for the continuation of success through the next generation. Find us at seekingsuccession.com. Thank you and have a great day.